Okay, good evening to one and all. Give me a confirmation if you guys can hear me. Give me a confirmation if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Yes or no? Perfect. That's great. So good evening to one and all. From today onwards, I will be continuing with this session. Okay, so I will be taking the rest 4 days for the Python and the machine learning bootcamp. First of all, Merry Christmas to everyone. Okay, so today we're going to start and we're going to continue till the time where we have left off. Okay, so far we have discussed about the variables. We have discussed about how exactly Python will going to help us, right? What's more? Tell me what's more you have learned during all this 3 days. Tell me, come on. You guys have to tell me that what all you have learned during this 3 days. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Let's see. Let's see if you guys remember what you have done during these 3 days. Integer, okay, that's nice. String, arrays, and loops. Oh, wow, that's great. Data types, functions, okay. Variables, and strings. Okay, so if we are going to summarize all the session, you have learned about the strings, you have learned about the arrays, you have learned about the loops, you have learned about the integers, typecasting, so far and so forth. I hope you have not learned about the data types and sorry, data structure, Python data structure. Are you guys done with that? Python data structure? I believe not, right? Okay, perfect. So today we're going to start with Python data structure. Now see, when I coin the term data structure, I'm not talking about the general DSA that we used to talk about, like about linked list, we have arrays, we have binary search and all that, right? I'm talking about the Python data structure. We are talking about the Python data structure. Okay, so today we'll go in, yeah, exactly, graph and trees, they are coming, they are the part of the data structure. But today we are more focused on learning about Python data structure. Okay, so let's start today's session, and then we're going to start with the Python data structure. Cool. So let me write over here Python data structure. Okay, why do we need a data structure? Like when we talk about that, not about the Python data structure, but a normal data structure. When we say we are going to use data structure, why data structure has a huge importance in programming? Okay, why data structure is so crucial that nowadays if you go on and search anywhere, people are mostly like 4 out of 5 people are talking about a data structure. You have to do the DSA. DSA is very important, not only for the interview part, but definitely for the integral part, because it helps you to think in more logical way, right? So now if I ask you that what exactly does this term data structure mean to you? Okay, I don't want a concise definition what exactly is a data structure, but what do you understand by the term data structure? Tell me, what do you understand by the term data structure? Structuring data efficiently to insert and retrieve data easily, that's good. A way to store data, yes, exactly. Structure to represent data, perfect. So now the term data structure means it's a way, okay, by which you can organize the data, by which you can store the data, generally if you look onto the data science expert world, you're going to find out that as you're moving forward, daily we generate a bulk of datas, okay, there are petabytes of datas and all that. So if the data is growing, so definitely we need some kind of storage, right? We need a storage to store this data, and if you're not storing this data, this data is entirely a waste. This data is entirely a waste, because if you want to perform some analysis, if you want to use that data in to make some machine learning model, deep learning model, you first have to store a data. You first have to store a data, right? Then only you can read this. Unless and until you store a data into a container, you cannot read the data, and further you cannot do your analysis and your model part or whatsoever insights you want to grab it. Yes or no? Right? Give me a confirmation. Are you guys getting this or not? Okay. Okay. Now that's why we use a concept of data structure. So how efficiently we can use the storage, how efficiently we can use the storage. Suppose if I'm having a storage of, let's suppose, of 1 TB, right? I'm having a storage of 1 TB. Okay. Now with the help of 1 TB, how can I manage all the files? How can I manage all my media's files or any sort of files, so that I can make the most out of this 1 TB storage? Okay, so data structure is very, very important in every sector. Okay, that's why if you are a college student, so definitely your seniors will going to suggest you that please go on and start with the data structure, because it will going to help you out during the interview part. Okay, let's move on and let's emphasize more on this term, Python data structure. We have Python data structure. Okay, now in this Python data structure we are going to discuss about four data structure. First being is a list. Okay, first being is a list. So list is exactly the same as an array, but it is more powerful than an array. Okay, so there's a huge difference between an array and a list. Okay, second we're going to talk about tuple. Third we're going to talk about dictionary, and fourth we are going to talk about sets. Okay, so these are four data structures that you should know in Python. Okay, so if you are going to an interview, if someone asks you, hey, do you know about the data structures, so or tell me about the data structures, what are the types of data structure we have in Python? So we have a list, we have a tuple, we have a dictionary, and we have a set. Okay, now the motive of data structure is that how can you efficiently manage to put and use the storage. Suppose over here I am having this 1 GB of drive. Suppose I'm having a 1 GB of drive or storage. I can only store 1 GB of data over here. I can only store 1 TB of data over here. Yes or no? Yes or no? Those who are getting the screen blurred or the video blurred, kindly change your resolution to your higher resolution. Okay? Perfect. Perfect. Now, over here, I can store only 1 TB of data, right? Over here, I'm having 1 TB of storage and I'm storing 1 TB of data. How about if I'm having 1 TB of storage and I can manage to store 10 TB of data? Don't you think it is very good and it is very efficient and it is saving a lot of storage, and simply with the storage, a lot of computation power and the prices as well? Yes or no? Right? Yes or no? Okay. Perfect. So similarly over here we have the list, tuple, dictionary, and sets. How we have to use all this we are going to see in our this session. Okay, let's move on to the next part. Before going on and start with the list, you must have heard about variables. You have heard about variables and a Python variable. What is a variable? What exactly is a variable? What is a variable? Anyone? That stores data. Exactly, that's an instance. Cool. Okay, container to store values. Perfect. Okay, so a variable a variable is a container, or you can call this as a bucket, that can store values. Now see, a particular variable can store only a single value. A variable can store a single value. Always remember this. Okay, a variable can store a single value. It cannot store multiple value. If you assign a variable like this, let's suppose we are having a variable and I say where is equals to 3. So 3 is my value. 3 is my value. This is my assignment operator, and this is my variable name. Okay, or you can call this as an instance when we talk about the oops concept. Okay, you cannot store multiple values over here. You cannot store 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 7 like this. You cannot store like this. Okay, because variable says that I can store only one single value. I can store only one single value. So if you want to store 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, what you have to do, you need to create another variable. Let's suppose variable 1, over here variable 2, over here variable 3, then we have variable 4, and then we have variable 5. Okay, till here it's clear, till here it's clear, till here it's clear. Okay, perfect. Now if we are creating these many variables, now just imagine if we are creating these many variables, don't you think it will going to increase the size? A lot of storage will be required to store so many of numbers, right? Over here our requirement is that I only want a single variable. I only want a single variable where I can store all this, where I can store all this, right? Because over here what is happening, the number of values that I want to insert, similarly I have to create exactly that number of variables as well, right? And when we are creating something, when you are inserting something, you are taking a lot of storage. You are taking a lot of storage, right? So to solve this kind of problem, we have Python data structure. Python data structure says that, hey, variable says that I can store one value. Python data structure says, okay, perfectly fine. Variable will going to store only one value, but what we're going to do, in this one value itself, we are going to solve multiple values as well. Okay, let's start with list. Let's start with list. Okay, now list is a kind of array, but it is not an array. List is a kind of array, but it is not an array. Always remember this thing. Okay, list is, this list is an array. Sorry, this list is a kind of array, but this is not an array. Always remember this thing. Okay, now let's suppose what exactly is this list and how we define a list. Let's find this out. Let's say, let's imagine that your mom told you that, hey, you want to buy some groceries. Okay, you have to buy some tomatoes, you have to buy some bananas, and so on and so forth. So what you do, you make a list out of that. Okay, and how we make a list in a general world, like this. Okay, I need some banana, then we need some tomatoes, then we need some more vegetables like peas. We have apples, some fruits as well, and then we have cabbage, and so on and so forth. This is how we make a list in our general world. Yes or no? In our real life, we make a list like this. Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. Now, exactly the same way we make the list in a Python as well. Okay, exactly the same way we make a list in a Python as well. Okay, so this is a real life list. We are going to convert this into our Python list. So everything will remain be the same. All the content will remain be the same over here. All the content will remain be the same. Only the difference is that you have to tell the interpreter that this is a list. You have to tell the interpreter that this is a list. Okay, so and how you're going to tell the interpreter, you have to add the square bracket at the starting and at the end, so that all the elements, these are all the elements, will be enclosed within the square bracket. Okay, and now if I ask you, what is the data type of this highlighted word? What is the data type of this highlighted word? Tell me, what is the data type of this highlighted word? String, exactly. Okay, so if this is a string, then definitely it should enclose within the inverted commas. Yes or no? If this is a string, then it has to be enclosed inside the inverted commas like this. And this is our list. So this is our list. Okay, let's check whether it is working or not. Over here, we have to provide this inside a variable. Okay, now this is our list. Okay, so this is my list. Okay, now see, a variable only store one value. A variable can store only one value, and this is one value. This is one value. Okay, this is how list will going to tackle the rules of variables. This is how the data structure tackles the rules of variables. It says that we are not going to hinder the rule. We are not saying that we are providing multiple values. Variable says that I want only a single value. So data structure says, okay, we are providing a single value. So this is a single value. And in this single value, we are having multiple values. In this single value, we are having multiple values. Okay. Now, if you want to store each item, what you have to do, you have to store this into a single variable one by one. So that will going to cost you a lot of storage problem. Okay. So now, if you're going to run this off, okay, it is connecting. Just a second. Just a second. Terminate. Okay, let's run this and let's print this. So this is a list, and how we know this is a list? With the help of the enclosed square bracket. Okay, so anything that comes under this square bracket, it is going to make it as a list. Now let's do the type. Let's check the type. Now the type over here is a list. Now the type over here is a list. So this how you can easily store multiple values in a single list. Okay, and not only you can store a string, but you can store anything. You can store anything. That's what makes list different from arrays. Okay, now the only difference between list and array is that array stores homogeneous elements, whereas list store heterogeneous elements. Heterogeneous means that all the elements of different data types, the elements of different data types, that mean you can store, if this is your list, you can store an integer, you can store a floating value, you can store a variable, a string, and you can store a boolean object, you can store a complex number, anything. But you cannot do this in an array. Okay, in an array you have to specify what elements you have to add on, and all the elements should follow the same data type. All the elements should follow the same data type. Okay, so that's what makes list different from array. Over here you have a liberty that you can store any kind of data types. Is this clear? Is this clear? Is this clear? Give me a confirmation. Perfect. Okay. Now let's check that how exactly we can access the value. We have stored the value. Okay, perfectly fine. Now let's see some example. Let's suppose I'm having this A and I'm having hello over here. Hello. And then we have another variable as B. I'm having world over here. Okay, let's run this. Now, if I want to have the value of hello, then I have to call the variable A. So I am going to get the value as hello over here. Now, if I want to see the value world, then I have to call the variable B. Okay, like this. So I am getting this world, right? But how about if all the elements are in a form of list? If you have a list like this and you have hello as well, and you are having world as well. you are having world as well. Okay. Now, if you're going to call the list, you will be getting all the element inside this list. You are getting this hello as well, you are getting this world as well, and you're getting all the elements enclosed within this square bracket. But now, if I want to call a single element, if I say I only want to call world, I don't want hello, I don't want any other elements, how can I do this? So, to tackle this kind of situation, we are having some concept. The concept name is indexing and slicing. This is a very important concept, indexing and slicing. The reason being is that it is not limited till list. It is not limited to list. You can use indexing and slicing in NumPy. You have to use indexing and slicing in pandas, whatnot. Okay, so indexing and slicing is a very easy concept, but it is a very important concept that will going to help you out a lot. Either you are going towards the data analysis field or machine learning field or DL field or any other sort of domain in the data science. Okay, perfect. What exactly is this indexing? What exactly is this slicing? Let's understand in this way. Let's take some word. Let's say hello, and let's say world. Okay. Now, indexing, the concept of indexing says that we assign a specific character. We assign a specific, you can say an ID. Okay, we assign a specific ID to each character. Now, imagine if this is a school. If this is a school, okay. Now, this is a school. Let's say XYZ school. This is an XYZ school. Okay. And over here, we are having a company. Let's say we are having Google over here. We are having Google over here. Okay. So what happened one day, Google's manager told his peon that, hey, you have to go to this XYZ school. Okay. You have to go to this XYZ school and you have to bring the student whose name is Ankit. You have to go to this school, XYZ school, and you have to call the student named Ankit because he has done a wonderful job and we want to make him an offer. Now what happened is the peon went to this school, and asked that, hey, I want this Ankit. I want this Ankit. Now, don't you think that it will be very hectic task that to find which Ankit the manager is referring to? Yes or no? Yes or no? Right? It is a very hectic task to find out which Ankit the manager was referring to, right? So what happened is the peon went back to his manager. He told him that, hey, there are a lot of Ankit. Which Ankit are you referring to? Are you referring to the Ankit who is in class 1, class 2, class 3, so on and so forth? So manager told him that go and find out the Ankit who is in class 12. Okay. Now again what happened is the peon went to the school and he found out there are 4 Ankit in class 12 in different section. Okay. Now he went back to his manager and asked the manager, give me some specific things so that I can easily identify which Ankit you are referring to. So what happened is this manager told him that go and find out that Ankit whose roll number is 123. Go and find, sorry, not roll number, the admission number. Okay. Go and find out this Ankit whose admission number is 123. Now tell me, don't you think that it is now very specific to, and it is easy to find which Ankit this manager is referring to? Yes or no? Yes or no? Because admission number is, first of all, admission number is unique for all the student. Admission number is unique for all the student. Okay. Now if you're providing an admission number, so definitely there are 100% chance that you will going to get the same student, okay, that you are referring to. Okay. Similarly, over here we have this exactly same case. Over here as well we have the same case in this indexing. Indexing says that each character, this is a character. Okay. This is one character, this is another character, this is another character, this is a third character, and we have this fourth character. Okay. Now the concept of indexing says that if you want to refer this H or this E or L and O, you can use the concept of indexing so that you will be getting the specific result. Now let me show you an example. Over here, we are having a character as O, right? Similarly, over here as well, I am having a character O, right? Now, if I tell you that I want to find out O, if you tell interpreter that, hey, I want to find out O, interpreter will be getting confused. Interpreter will going to say, yeah, you want to find O, okay, that's perfectly fine, but I am having two O over here. Which O are you referring to? Give me some specific information so that I can reach to a specific O that you're talking about. Over here, we provide an ID. That ID is known as the index value. And always remember one more thing, that in Python, indexing always starts from zero. That means this is the first character. This first character will going to have the index value as 0. This second character will going to have the index value as 1. This character will going to have the index value as 2, and this character will going to have the index value as 3, and so on and so forth. And even though the white space, this white space will also going to have an index value. Okay, with the help of this ID, you can easily signify which character or which element you are talking about. Is this clear? Yes or no? Is this clear? Perfect. Okay. Now let's see this. Over here, I am having two elements. This is my first element and this is my second element, right? Now, if you want to present this world, word, right? So what exactly is the index value of this world? Anyone? What will be the index value of this word world? Anyone? 1. Exactly, it will be 1, because over here the indexing starts from 0. In Python, indexing starts from 0. So the first index will be provided to this word hello. Second indexing will going to provide to this word. Okay, so if you say list of first, you will be getting world. See, this is the exact same output that you are getting. List world, this is your indexing. This is your specific ID that you provide to each element, so that it will be very easy for you to determine which element you are talking about. Suppose over here I am having hello again. Now see, I am having two hello, right? If I say, hey, just print hello. Now over here, this is a confusion that which hello are you referring to? This hello or this hello? Now in more specific way, I am going to say that, hey, you need to print out that hello which is having the index value as 0. You have to print that hello which is having the index value as 0. So over here, this is 0, this is 1, and this is 2. So you will going to provide 0 and you will be getting this hello. Okay, and this hello is not this hello. Okay, though it seems like this is hello and this is hello, but if you check for their memory address and memory location, it will definitely be different. Okay, and the indexing is absolutely different. Till here it's clear? Yes or no? Till here it's clear? Okay, perfect. And one more thing, that attendance will be provided by the team on their respective group. Okay, so we are not going to provide the attendance link today. So you will be getting the attendance link on your respective group, either on the WhatsApp or on the Telegram. Okay, so please make sure about that. Okay, space will be included. That's why I'm telling you, space will be included. Okay, space will be included. Space will also going to have, this space will also going to have a index value. This space will also going to have an index value. Let me show you an example. Let's say this is a variable and over here I'm writing hello and world. Okay, now if you want the character H, if you write over here A as 0, like this, okay, you will be getting this H. Okay, And what is the index value of this space? Anyone? What is the index value of this space? What is the index value of this space? Anyone? 5, okay. 6, okay. Some people are saying 5 and some people are saying 6. Let's find out. This will be 0, this will be 1, this will be 2, this will be 3, this will be 4, this will be 5. So index value will be 5 over here. And if you see, this is my space. This is my space. Yes or no? That means space is also included. Though white space, you cannot see the white space, it doesn't mean that white space doesn't hold any potential. Okay, white space also holds the index value. Okay, let's move on to the next concept, that's known as the slicing. Slicing means to chop off. Slicing means that you have to chop off. Okay, let's suppose you are having a bread. Okay, let's suppose this is your bread. Okay, and I tell you that, hey, you need to cut off a slice, you need to slice this off. So let's suppose you're slicing off from here to here. Okay, you're slicing from here to here. This is exactly the same thing the slicing in Python means. That means if you are having a value and you want to chop off some values, okay, you want to chop off some value, you can use a slicing. That means if you are having a list that is having A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, these are some elements that you're having in this list. Now, if I'm going to print the list, I will be getting a list exactly in the same way with all the elements, right? If I'm going to use the indexing, so I can get a single value. If I say indexing of 0, then I'm going to get A. Indexing of 1, I'm going to get B. Now, suppose if I say I want to get these many values, B, C, and D. I want B as well, C as well, D as well. I want A, B, and C as well. I want D and E. Okay, so what you are going to do, you are going to use slicing concept. You are going to use the slicing concept with respect to indexing. Slicing can only be done if you have a knowledge of indexing. If you don't know about indexing, you cannot perform slicing. Okay, similarly, let's come up over here. I only want HE. I only want HE, that is he, from this phrase hello world. So now I'm going to use a slicing. I want to chop off from, I want to chop off from this to this. So the index value of H is 0. So I'm going to say start chopping off from 0 till this colon means till. Now you have to provide the index. I want this E that is having the index value as 1. Okay, but in slicing or in Python, we should know that over here this slicing does not include the ending value. This slicing will not going to include the ending value. If you provide over here as 1, it will going to include the starting value, but it will not going to include the ending value. So if you want a phrase as HE, you need to provide one additional one. So whatsoever value you're providing over here, if suppose this is X, you need to add plus 1 to it so that you can get the respective output. Okay, so over here it will be 0, 1, but it will going to start till 2. So if you print over here, you'll getting this HE. Okay, this is how slicing will going to work off. If you want to have WO, so you need to find out this indexing. So what you're going to say, A, W is going to have the index value, this is 5, this is 6. It will going to include this. It will going to end till over here, right? So 6, 7, and 8. So over here you will going to provide 8. Now if you see, you will going to get OVO. Is this clear? Is this clear? Is this clear? Yes or no? Give me a confirmation. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Now this is all about the indexing, this is all about the slicing, and this is about the how you can create a list. Right now, if you want to append Append means you want to add something again. Okay, let's suppose you are having a list. Let's print this list. Okay, you have created a list, hello world and hello, and suddenly you remember that, oh, I forgot to add one item. I forgot to add an item, that is bye bye. Let's suppose that item is bye bye. I want to add over here. You forgot about that. Now, how can you add this into the existing list? This function is known as an append function. This function is known as an append function. How append function is going to work out? The list name dot the append function, and inside this append function you need to describe the element. This will be the syntax. This will be the syntax to add any elements to a list. Okay, let's follow this up. List name, the list name is list, then the function append, then the element is bye bye, and let me execute this, and then if you are going to see this, we are getting this bye bye in this list. Okay, this is how you can add an element. Okay, now let's talk about the update an element. Suppose you realize that, hey, this hello, this should not be a hello. By mistakenly I have write hello over here. I don't want this hello, I want a different word over here. I don't want this hello, I want a different word over here. That means you are going to alter the elements. You are going to alter the elements, you are going to change the elements, you are going to manipulate the element. So you are going to first find out the index value. So what will be the index value of this hello? What will be the index value of this hello? Anyone? 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 3, 2, okay. Perfect. It will be 2. It will be 2 because indexing starts from 0. This is 0. This is 1. This is 2. So let me check this. List 2. And you are getting this hello. Okay. Now I am going to change this word hello. Now I am going to use the reassignment concept. I am going to say that this list 2 should be having another word. Let's say this word will be good night. Good night. So now over here I'm reassigning, I'm manipulating and updating the word. Okay, let's run this, and now if I'm going to run this list, you're going to find out earlier where I was having this hello, now I am having good night at the same place. Now I'm having good night at the same place. Okay, this how you can update the values. This how you can update the values in a list. Is this clear? Is this clear? Is this clear? Okay. Okay. Perfect. Now the last thing is how we can delete an element. How we can delete an element. There are various ways. There are remove function, pop function, del function. We are going to look forward to the del function. Suppose I want to delete this world. I want to delete this world. Okay. The first step will be you need to find out the index over here. It will be 0 and it will be 1. So let's check this. List 1 is going to provide us this world. I want to delete this. So what you have to use? You have to use a keyword that is known as del. You need to use the del keyword to delete this element. So let's run this. And let's check whether this has been deleted from the list or not. Yes, it has been deleted. This how you can delete this. So you have seen how you can create a list, how you can read a list, how you can update a list, how you can delete a list. So you have understood about the CRUD operation of list. This is very, very important to understand about the CRUD operation. Okay, all about the data structures, all about the DB related stuff, all about the data frames and the NumPy. You need to understand how to perform the CRUD operation. That means create, read, update and delete. Is this clear? Till here it's clear? Yes or no? We can pop it also. Exactly. We have pop function, we have remove function and so on and so forth. Okay. Perfect. Let's move on and let's see some other part. Okay. The next data structure that we are going to discuss will be a dictionary. The next data structure will be a dictionary. Okay, dictionary is exactly the same way that we use in our real life. We have our Oxford dictionary, right? And what exactly is the pattern of a dictionary? What is a pattern of a dictionary? We have a word, we have a word, and then we are having a meaning. This is the pattern that we follow in our general dictionary. Yes or no? A word and then its meaning. Yes or no? Right? Right? Okay? Perfect. Do you think in a dictionary we have something like this? Meaning and word. You know the meaning and you are going to find the word. This how the dictionary will going to work out? Which among them, the first one or the second one? Which among these two is correct about dictionary? The first one or the second one? You get a word, you find a meaning, or you get a meaning, you find a word. Which among them is correct about dictionary? The first or the second one? Come on, tell me. The first one, exactly. The first one. The first one is correct about a dictionary. You always get a word, and with the help of that word, you are going to find the meaning, right? It will never going to happen that you are having a meaning and you're finding a word. No. So this is absolutely wrong, right? You're always having a word and you're going to find a meaning. Okay. Dictionary in Python will also going to work the same way. Over here, this word, this word, let me use this. Uh, yeah, this word will going to change. We have word and meaning in our general dictionary. In Python dictionary, this word is referred to as key and this meaning is referred to as value. We have a key value pair over here. We have a key value pair over here in a dictionary where key stands for the word and value stands for the meaning of that word. Okay, and dictionary is always ordered. Dictionary is always ordered. That means if you're having a word, like suppose you are searching for a word pencil, you are searching for a word mobile, you are searching for a word light, okay, and let's suppose you are searching for a word apple. What does this ordered mean? That always you feel, if you check on the dictionary, you're going to find out dictionary is always ordered. That means those words that start they has been arranged in the alphabetical orders. Okay, so among all these four you will going to find apple at the top, then you will going to find light, then you will going to find mobile, and then you will going to find pencil. Yes or no? This how dictionary work, right? Yes or no? Okay, is it clear? Yes or no? Give me a confirmation. Okay, so this is the properties of dictionary, that dictionary is always ordered. Okay, and it follows a key value pair. It follows a key and value pair. Okay, now another property about dictionary is that all the information or all the items and elements will be enclosed within the curly braces. All the information will be enclosed within the curly braces. Okay, so over here you need to follow the key value pair. You will going to have a key and then you will going to have a value, the same way we have in a dictionary. Okay, let's see about dictionary. Now if I want to create a dictionary, you need to first define the variable name that we have defined as dict. Then we are going to have the curly braces. Over here we will be going to have some key. Let's suppose we are having a key as phone. Now we are going to have some value. Let's suppose the value will be an item that has some functionality. Okay, let me run this. Okay, now let's check the type of this dictionary. You are getting this is a dict. Okay, dict means dictionary. Okay, over here this is a key and this is a value. Let's print our dictionary. Let's print our dictionary, and this is how a dictionary will going to look like. Okay, Now you are having a phone, you are having all this meaning. And always remember one thing, that the key cannot be same. You cannot have multiple same key. Okay, if you are having that, it will going to change the entire concept of dictionary, because you will never going to have the same word twice. You will never going to have same word twice. Is this clear? Is this clear? Okay. Okay. Perfect. So this is about the dictionary, how you can, there are a lot of functionality in a dictionary. Okay, you can even though use the concept of list in a dictionary. If you say that in this value I am having only one element, if I want to store multiple elements, you can do that as well. Let's suppose this is a dictionary, and this is, let's suppose it says pencil, and over here I'm storing A, B, and C, and so on and so forth, right? Let me run this ASD, and you will be getting, this is your key and this is your value. And you can store any number of items over here. You can store any number of items, and the items should follow the pattern of key and value pair. Till here it's clear? Till here it's clear? In Python, we don't use semicolon. In Python, we don't use semicolon. Okay. So in generally in different languages, you always use semicolon at the end of the statement. Okay. So in Python, we don't have such cases. We don't use semicolon. Oftenly, we use colon in different aspect when we use a conditional statement and the looping part, but we don't use semicolon as general. Okay. Perfect. Can we have a dictionary inside a dictionary? Yes, you can have a dictionary inside a dictionary as well. Okay, let me show an example. Let's take the same example. Over here, instead of this list, this is a dictionary. A going to have B, right? And C will going to have, C will going to have D. Okay, let's run this and let's print this AST. So now if you see, this is entirely a dictionary. Inside a dictionary, you are having an element. The key of that element is pencil, whereas the value is in a form of dictionary. Okay. If you want to find out all the keys, you can use the function keys like asd.keys, and you will be getting all the keys that has been listed inside a dictionary. Over here, our key name is pencil. Okay. And if you want to get all the values, you can get a value as well, asd.values. And this how you will be getting all the values over here. Till here it's clear? Till here is it clear? Yes or no? Okay, perfect. Now if I say ASD as 0, and if I run this up, okay, it says that it's a key error. It's a key error. That means over here, everything you need to do with respect to the keyword. That means why we use slicing? Because why we use indexing? Because indexing are unique, right? Over here, the key is unique. Over here, the key is unique. Okay, so you cannot use a indexing over here. You cannot use indexing over here directly, because dictionary says that you need something unique, and the unique over here is the key name. The unique over here is the key name, so you cannot use slicing like this. You cannot use indexing like this. Instead, if I say pencil, and if I run this up, you're going to see the value, because this pencil is unique. The key will always be unique. Value can be same, but the key will always be unique. Always remember this. In dictionary, value can be same or different, but key will always be different and unique. Is this clear? Is this clear? Okay, let's move on to the next data type, that is set. Okay, we are going to talk about the set. Okay, generally during your school time, you must have heard about this term set. Okay, the motive of set is that element will be enclosed within the enclosed within the curly braces, but not in a key value pair. If they are in a key value pair, it will going to go to the dictionary. Okay, if they're not in a key value pair, then it will be a set. Okay, the uniqueness of set is that it will not going to store any duplicate value. The uniqueness about set is that it will not going to store any unique value. In list you can have duplicate value, we have seen the example of hello and hello, but in set you cannot have the unique value. You cannot have any unique value. You will going to you will going to not have any duplicate value. Okay, if you are having a value like this, let's suppose this is a set and you are having 1 2 1, automatically set will going to convert this into a set that will going to have the unique element, that is 1 and 2, because over here 1 has already been repeated. Over here 1 has already been repeated, so it will not going to show 1 over here. Is it clear? Is it clear? Yes or no? Okay, this is the third last that we are going to cover about the tuple, and that's how we are going to cover the data structure. Okay, just 5 more minutes. Perfect. Let's see the set over here. We have a psi, and then we are going to have a set. Let's say 1 2 3 4 1 and 2, and let's say 3. So total elements over here I'm having 7. Let me create a list for this as well. Copy, and let's say list. Let's see. And to convert this in a list, just add the square bracket and let's run this. Okay. Now, if I print the list, you will be getting all the elements. You will be getting all the elements. See, that means list support duplicacy. List support duplicacy. All the elements can be duplicate. Okay. But if you see in the set, you will going to find out set only includes the unique elements. Set only includes the unique element. It will not going to focus on the duplicate elements or the repeated elements. Is this clear? Is this clear? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. Perfect. The last data structure that we are going to talk about will be a tuple. The fourth will be a tuple. Okay. So generally tuple is there are two terms. One is mutable and another is immutable. Mutable means changeable, immutable means unchangeable. Tuple is immutable. So generally in interview, most of the time, interviewer asks you what is the difference between tuple and list. Okay, so difference is list is mutable, whereas tuple is immutable. That means over here we have seen an example. If I create a list over here, I say 1 2 and 3. After some time I realize that, oh no, I want to change this 3 to 4, I can easily do that. I can easily update that. Yes or no? I can say list of 2 indexing, change this to 4. I can easily do that. But this cannot be done in tuple. This cannot be done in tuple. Tuple says that as soon as you have created a tuple, after that you cannot change anything in tuple. That's why tuple is unchangeable. Tuple is unchangeable. Okay, if you want to change a tuple, you have to do the typecasting to convert this tuple into a list. Change this into a list, then do a typecasting back to a tuple. This way you can do that. But tuple doesn't support any functionality that you can change the element in this tuple. You cannot update, alter or manipulate any values in this tuple. And if you want to create a tuple, your element should enclose within the round bracket. Within the round bracket, that means 1 2 3 and 4. Okay, so let's write this down over here. If you are in a list, then square bracket. If you are in a set, then the curly braces. If you are with a tuple, then the round bracket. And if you are with dictionary, then it should follow a key value pair. Then it should follow a key value pair. Okay, always remember this thing. Always remember this thing. What is a list, set, tuple, and what is a dictionary. Okay, and let's see how we can create a tuple. So let's suppose we are having a variable as a. You need to create a tuple. So this is how you are going to create a tuple. 6. Let's run this. And now if you see the type, you're going to see over here it is showing us tuple. Over here it is showing us tuple. We don't have any function. Now if I say that I want to change this 6, I cannot do that. I cannot change this 6 to 7, 8 or something else. As soon as it has been created, it is done. That's it. Okay, you cannot change this. If you want to change this, you can do a typecasting to convert this into a list. With the help of list, you can update the value and then do the typecasting again the tuple, but you don't have any predefined function for tuple to change any values. Is this clear to all of you? Is this clear to all of you? Yes or no? Is this clear to all of you? Perfect. So that's a wrap of today's session about the data structure. Tomorrow we're going to start with some other topics. Okay, we're going to most probably we're going to start with machine learning. Okay, we're going to find this out. But that's the wrap. That's the entire wrap for today's session. The attendance link will be provided to you on your respective group. Okay, either it will be your WhatsApp or it will be your Telegram. Okay. Difference between tuple and list is that list is mutable, that you can change the list but you cannot change the tuple. Okay, perfect. So let's end this session over here. Thank you so much for joining in. Let's meet tomorrow. Till then, have a great time. See you all soon. Good night. Have a great time. Bye.